Hello, fellow Toastmasters. My name is Annie, and I will be sharing my panic attack experience with you today. Panic attack is sudden episode of intense fear or anxiety. And I think I'm having one right now. No, I'm not. It's a physical symptom based on a perceived threat rather than imminent danger. It's what can happen if you have trauma or a PTSD, depression, anxiety, anger, addictions. So imagine you're walking down the street and there's a guy coming towards you with a gun. Your heart starts to pound. Your hands and feet are going to be sweaty. You feel this tightness in your chest. And because of irregular breathing, you're not breathing regularly because of this fear. There's lack of oxygen going to your brain. So you feel like you're going to pass out and die. Your brain shuts down, your reasoning ability, your memory, they're all gone. There's a little tiny organ in the center of your brain, and if I could remember to pronounce it, I can only spell it at this time. It's AMYGDALA. So if anyone knows, please help me out. Thank you so much. So that organ will catapult you into this survival mode. You're going to face this moment. You're going to either fight it or you're going to escape. So this is all happening, except there's no guy with a gun in front of you. You're just walking down the street, and it's happening again and again and again. The first time it happened, I was in the middle of the freeway in a total gridlock. On a very stormy night, I was in a traffic jam for an hour and a half. The cars were at a standstill, and I remember feeling very frustrated. I wanted to get out of this situation, and I couldn't. I felt helpless, hopeless. So I went into the emergency room. The second time was after doing some laps of swimming, and I sat down to relax, and instead of my heart calming down, it was pounding faster and faster until that sound of my heart pounding filled my brain, and I went into a major panic. So there I was in the emergency room. The doctor came in. He said, "You're fine, your heart is fine, your EKG came out normal." And he asked me if it was the first time, and I said no. And he said, "Perhaps you should go see a therapist." So I did. And we tried to get to the root of the cause. And it was a trauma. But I can't really get into the details because I believe that every woman should have some sort of mystery. So this is what I learned from my experience. I learned a lot, and I narrowed down to 3 things. There's an exercise called EMDR, and it's called eye movement desensitization reprocessing. It's a bilateral stimulation of brain where you're channeling the energy that went to your right side of the brain, which is the emotional side, to the left side, which is the analytical side. So I was told you can do some exercises like tap your elbows and count 1, 2, 1, 2 until you're calm, and it helped. Or your knees if you're sitting down driving. Or take 2 objects, like one building on either side, and keep looking back and forth and count 1 and 2 until you're calm. Or trees. You can also do math. Take number 1000 and then subtract 7, another 7. Keep going until you're calm. And by the time I got to around 800, I was ready to go, because I'm not that good in math. There's 3 kinds of people in this world. Those who can add and those who cannot add. So the second thing that happened, I started praying really hard. And as Danny said, in his speech one day, I connected to God. And I wish he was here. Because everyone talks about Danny in their speeches, I might as well too, right? And finally, it helped me to remain calm under a crisis situation. Remember I said I was in the middle of the freeway when this happened? I said, if I'm gonna die, I don't wanna do it in the middle of the freeway. I had to pull over, and when I did, I said, I'm gonna make it out of the exit. And when I did, I pulled into a McDonald's parking lot. So, oh, and I have to tell you, the other day I got mugged. This really happened. A guy came at me with a gun, and he said, give me all your money or your life. And I was calm. I looked at him and I said, listen, I have no money and I have no life. And he cried, and we hugged. So I never thought that one day I would stand in front of you all and talk about my panic attacks. I thought it was a weakness. I thought it was a flaw. I don't think that way anymore. I look back to those days, those frightful moments, and I am very grateful that the experience has made me who I am today. I am a stronger person today. Thank you.